All right, guys, we're going to start with Carter. Anybody has any questions for Carter?
Hey, Carter, how's it going?
How's it going?
Just a generic one here to start. What have you liked about the first two games, and what haven't you liked?
I mean, I've liked winning a lot. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, it's different. I think we'll keep doing that. But I mean, it's been fun. We have a lot of talent on this team. So it's like you saw Friday night. Anybody can have a monster game, which they did. So that's fun. And then I think we still have like a lot of stuff we can improve at by ACC play. So I think that's probably the biggest thing we just need to focus on moving forward. Just getting better every day.
What's the one biggest thing, or is there one biggest thing to improve on?
I mean, defense, like offensively, we're fine. We're going to be able to score. It's just defense, like transition defense. I think teams get a lot of easy buckets that, I think we'll clean up as the season goes on as long as we just, get better. But I think that's probably the biggest thing, transition defense, just defense in general.
We saw man in practice, and we saw him in the exhibition. We kind of had an idea of what he could do, but I don't know if we saw 27 or 22 and 32 coming. Did you see that coming from him?
I mean, like once he gets going, it's hard to stop. Like, today in practice, he had a stretch where he had like 10 in a row, and it's nobody can really stop it once he like finds those first couple of baskets. He'll get a few easy ones, and then it's just like he's going to keep going, and he did for 40 minutes Friday night.
Was that your first impression, like back whenever you would have first got to campus in the summer and you got on the court with him? Was that something that kind of hit you immediately?
I think he kind of like, as he got more comfortable, started playing a lot more aggressive than he was early on. Like, early on, like I saw he can really pass it because like he passes the ball super well. And then as like the summer progressed, you started seeing like he was an explosive scorer.
Carter, what do you like about how your game's been so far these first couple of games? What are you doing that you're pleased with?
I think I'm just trying to play aggressive and get in the lane and just like make plays for other people. I haven't really shot the ball well, but I think that will come. I'm not really too worried about that. So I think, the biggest thing I'm just trying to focus on is like the defensive ends.
You talk about not shooting the ball all that particularly well so far. It seems like there's a handful of guys who we know, like yourself, are capable three-point shooters that haven't really quite got it going yet. And yet you look up and you guys scored 87 points Friday.
Yeah.
It seems like offensively, like you said, there's a great deal of potential, especially once the three ball starts going.
Yeah, we have, a bunch of guys that can really shoot it. And I don't think anybody's really gotten hot from three. Davian made a few the other night, but he can really shoot it. So all of us have the potential to get hot. And if we're all hot in one game, that's going to be, we're going to put up some points. But I think, we'll start making shots.
What do you think it'll take to kind of get Isaiah going? He's a leader, he's vocal, he's always positive, but he hasn't necessarily had the first, couple games put together really good performances. What do you think it'll take? How was he today in practice, and what's it going to take to kind of get him going?
He stays positive. He's there for us. He cheered us on it, and he knows he knows he didn't play like great the last few games, didn't make shots, but I think he knows like for him to get really involved, he needs to just focus on the defensive end, the lead, and then the other stuff, the points and stuff is going to come, and he'll be fine. He's old. He knows how this goes, so he'll figure it out.
I know you guys had the weekend off essentially. What have you learned so far about Charleston Southern?
We just started scouting them. It's kind of hard to tell this early. We didn't get too into detail today.
Anything else, guys?
Thanks, Carter.
Thanks, Carter.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Doing
Good. Let's see. You had 22 and 32. Is that what you expected from yourself in your first two games at Wake? Is it better? Is it worse? Like what are we feeling like here?
It was a shocker. You feel me? Like I knew I was gonna do good, but I didn't know I was gonna come out and do things like that. But I'm really proud of myself.
Carter mentioned once you get going, you really become pretty unstoppable? What's that feel like in a game? And how early do you have to know? Is it after the first bucket or the first couple?
Probably after a couple buckets, I feel like I'm unstoppable. But that's just so normal.
Has it always been like that? Like, is that just how it always was for you?
Yeah, I always had the ability to score whenever I wanted to, but I just always liked to pass the ball a lot. So sometimes I just try to switch it up because I don't want the defense to try to just sink on me all the time and everybody on me. So I just be trying to, spread the ball around so I can open up spaces for me so I can score whenever I want to when I do.
You know, man, when I wrote the story Friday night, I wrote it as a career high, but I don't really know. Did you top that point total maybe during your JUCO career, or is 32 really your career high?
No, I think yeah, 32 my career.
Okay. Did you realize you put 32 points up? Because when I talked to Coach Forbes about it, he didn't realize you'd scored that many. Did it surprise you did you know you had that when that game came to an end?
No, I thought last time I seen, I think I had like 27 at the point, but I didn't know I had 32.
Just how was practice today, and what's preparation looking like for Charleston Southern on Wednesday?
Practice was great. Everybody dialed in, locked in, ready for the next game. We always be pumped to play against somebody else other than ourselves all the time. So we real pumped to play next game, and we real prepared too.
Now, I know 32 is your career high, but you also scored 32 as a perimeter player without hitting a three-point shot, which seems like a strange combination in a way.
Yeah.
Have you ever had big scoring games before without knocking down a single three?
No, probably during my AAU career, but no, not in college.
Carter mentioned that you had a stretch of today's practice where you scored like 10 points in a row. Can you confirm that?
Yeah, it was just some funny things. I just always be watching like documentaries or stories about Kobe and LeBron and Jordan and them and stuff like that, how they be doing in practice. So, I just wanted to get a little moment like that when I just feel like I can't miss, you feel me? But no, yeah, I had a little stretch like that today.
So it's safe to say your touch hasn't gone away over the weekend.
Nah. So I'm ready for Wednesday.
When you have back-to-back games like that, do you get in a mindset of where you just want to, play the next one the next day and the next one the next day? Like, do you just want to keep playing games and not practice?
Yeah. Like when I'm like coming from JUCO and coming from where I'm from, that's all we did was just play basketball. So I just be loving just the hoop all day. Like even when we having like when practice be over with and we just got done like running up and down, I'd be like, man, I wish practice could have been a little bit longer because we was hooping against each other. So I just like to hoop. So yeah, I'll be wishing that it could be right back to back, like AAU days.
Coach Forbes told us today that when you decided to transfer, you were looking for a spot where you could have the ball in your hands a little bit more, right? And you've kind of and to have a little bit more offensive freedom. What did he tell you like during that recruiting process that got you to say, yeah, Wake Forest is a spot where I'm going to have a chance to kind of show my skills the way I want? And has what he told you in the recruiting process been backed up so far with what you've seen from his coaching in person?
It was just a lot of people just telling me how he was in JUCO and like me and him both JUCO people. So we just built a bond from that. And then he was just telling me and showing me the players of who we had. And like we had a lot of shooters and things like that. Like the ball gonna be in your hands. So like it gave me more confidence. I was like, okay. He was just always say things like, you ain't gonna be at Oklahoma no more. Like, we're not gonna do you like they did you there. Like we ain't gonna have you in the corner. You're gonna have the ball. and it just seemed like he was serious about it. So that's what made me come here, and I was like, all right. Then the JUCO part too just was a bonus too. So we both in JUCO, so he know my struggle, you know how hard we work.
When people look at the guards on this team, a lot of times they'll think of Carter and maybe even Davian as a point guard. Do you consider yourself a point guard, an off guard, a scoring guard? What do you label yourself, Alondes?
All around player. I do everything, to be honest.
That's no fun, man.
Like whatever they want me to do, I'll do it. I'm here to win for the team, to be honest.
So if they told you to go play the 5, you'd be okay with going to play the 5?
Yeah, I go play the 5, go guard the 5. I go do that. They just gotta go through the plays with me though.
All right, anything else for Man?
Thanks, Alondes.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man.